Hello, friends. Welcome to day 2 of our financial freedom. So, today we're going to be talking about setting goals. So, set a goal. I don't know if you've heard of that saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That always gets me. I love that. So, my name is Gospel Emiara, and I host tutorials just like this, workshops just like this. And my whole aim and goal is to help people. I'm kind of like people's co-pilot, getting them to where they want to be in their lives, basically. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm passionate about supporting people achieving their goals and achieving their dreams. It's just amazing when you can see the transformation that people have made. And today has been one of those days, and I am happy. So, one of the things that I help people with is in their finances. And that is why we've started the Financial Freedom series for the month of May. And today we're starting with set a goal. So yesterday we talked about determining what your why is. What is your why? Why do you want to be financially free? Why do you want to get out of debt? Set your why. So today is set goals. Now, like I said, how do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? It's the same thing with your finances. If you've got a huge debt and you're thinking to yourself, this is quite a huge mountain for me to climb. I don't know how I'm going to climb this mountain. I really don't know what I'm going to do. First thing to do, know what your goal is. Your goal is to get to the top of that mountain. Then now you need to now start taking the first step. Take the first step. Step by step, you get to the top of the mountain. So your goal is to get to the top of the mountain. Your financial goal is to be either debt-free or to continue to remain debt-free. How do we do that? So if we've got a lot of debt, you need to now so let's say you've got maybe £10,000 or $10,000 worth of debt. That is your mountain that you want to climb. So you've set that goal. But how do you set goals? What do you do? There's this book that Brian Tracy wrote, in which he talks about it's called It's That Frog. And this book just basically sort of telling you that what you feel like you don't want to do, just do it. And it lays out how you should go about doing it. So many people might say, oh my word, getting out of debt, it's not something I really, it's just something that I'm not really keen on doing. I'm not really keen to pursue, because the thought of it, the mountain, the just thinking about, oh, how am I going to get rid of £10,000 worth of debt? One thing you should do is you should now think to yourself, what exactly matters to you? Do you really want to be debt free? Do you want to, how important is it for you? Do you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck? Do you want to be able to pay that tuition fee for your child and pay off that mortgage, own your own business, or stop turning down party invitations for your kids? So let's say one of your kids' friends invites them to a party, and you now have to tell your kid that, oh, I'm sorry, you can't go because I cannot afford to buy them any gifts. Or even, for instance, going to, nowadays, schools hold trips away, and I hear quite a bit about parents that will not send their kids on those trips because they cannot afford it. Granted, those trips are quite expensive, especially if you're going to places like Austria and Germany and stuff like that. Places like that, it can add up. It can be really expensive. So, do you want to keep telling your kid no about that? What exactly matters to you? If none of those matters to you, then that's totally all right. But think again, what else matters to you? Now, consider what is within your reach. Because there's no point you now kind of over trying to reach for something that you know that you blatantly cannot even achieve or get. That can be quite discouraging and very demotivating. Set a goal in which you think, this is within my reach. I can achieve this goal, basically. Okay, that's another way to consider setting your goal. Another thing is apply the SMART method. So SMART. So you need to, whatever you're going to do, you need to try and apply the SMART strategy. And what that is SMART stands for aim to be specific. So actually, let me write that down. So S for specific. Okay. So be specific be specific in what you want to achieve. You don't want to just be random, because if you don't have a direct focus, it will be quite hard for you to achieve your goal. So be specific. So let's say your specific goal is to pay off £1,000 or £10,000. That was our example. £10,000. So your specific thing is to be debt free. Okay. Then now you have, your goal should be measurable. So measurable in the sense that is to be debt free, you need to get rid of £10,000 or $10,000 or 50,000 euros, whatever amount so it should be really measurable. And then the next one, the A stands for actionable. So it should be action orientated. So what steps are you going to take to achieve that goal? So your specific goal to get financial freedom, what step are you gonna put in place to achieve it, and what actions are you going to do to achieve that specific goal, which is to be debt free or to have financial freedom? Then the next one is The R stands for realistic. So you should be quite realistic with your goals, in the sense that, so whatever steps you've put in place, be realistic that you will be able to achieve it. And that brings me to the final one, which is it should be, you should basically have a timeline. So you should have a timeline. So the T stands for timeline. So your goal is to be financially free, specifically to pay off 10,000 pounds, dollars, euros. Okay. You've created actionable steps for you to achieve that. And it's quite realistic for you. And now the time, you could say, I want to achieve these goals in maybe 2 years' time. So in 24 months, that could be your timeline. And that's how you set your goal. Now, once you've applied the SMART method, the next thing is create a realistic budget to achieve those goals. So when you create your budget could include things like, it could be that, okay, this is what I want to spend on bills, on food, on rent, whatever that could be. You create a budget for that. And then the next thing is, really within your budget, you decide, how much am I going to be putting aside to pay off these debts? That will be in your budget. Then if your budget is one that says, oh, if you're going to achieve this goal in 24 months time, we need X amount of money. So how are you going to get that amount of money? You now start to think about different things that you can do to get the money. So it could be, you could sell something to be able to pay off some part of the debt. You could get the second job or third job or fourth job. Yeah, you could do that. Just start thinking of ways that you can generate money. And that's why having a budget is really, really helpful. So create a realistic budget. Then the next thing is, now you need to now start monitoring your progress, because as you pay off your debt, you start to see the money reducing, and watching it, monitoring it. Maybe you could be monitoring your progress monthly, 3 monthly, 6 monthly. The motivation, it gives you motivation, it inspires you to carry on and see how much you can maybe you can take on more hours to pay it off a lot quicker. Just monitoring your progress, really, I find that is quite motivational. Really, it makes you want to push on. Okay, so that is the 5 steps on how to set up your goals. Now, the next thing that you might want to also consider when you're doing this is aim to now break down your goals, your whatever it is that you're going to do. Aim to break that down. So yeah, I'm just checking my notes. And the way that you could do this, there are different ways. So one way you could do this, so you've got your financial goal. So I said break down your actionable plan, break them down to specific workable plan. So you could, let's say you have your timeline is 24 months. Okay. Now you could say each month, this is how much I want to be putting towards paying off these debts. You could have that. So you make a budget and you live by it, strictly live by that budget. Your actionable plan could be, if let's say you've got £5,000 worth of credit card debt, you could say in 6 months' time, I want to pay off this amount of credit card debt. That's one thing you could do. Then once you've done that, so okay, let's dial back. Let's do this properly. Your long-term goal is your 24 months. Now you split it into maybe short-term goals. So your short-term goals could be 6 monthly, perhaps. So you say in 6 months, I should have paid this bill off. So maybe credit card 1, you should pay it off within 6 months. So that's your short-term goal. Within the next maybe 12 months, you should have paid, you might tell yourself, I should have paid half of my debts, for instance. Okay, so that's your midterm goal. So that could be 12 to 18 months to have paid half of your debt. And then your long-term goal, which is the 24 months, if you want, could be paying off the whole thing in 24 months. So that's how you break up your goals. I hope this is making sense. If it is making sense, give it a thumbs up or a wow, or yeah, make a comment if you're loving this, because setting a goal really is quite it's quite inspirational, and it's quite motivating as well, because you can see where you're going. You can see what you're doing and how you're achieving them. So you would need to have like a goal chart, and this is where you have your short-term goals, your mid-term goals, your long-term goals, especially if you want to pay off your debt, because that's what we want to do. Okay, to pay off the debt. Now, once you've now paid off your debt, now you don't want to get back into debt. So this is where you now have to start thinking about managing your finances. So you could say, okay, my long-term goal is to have saved up maybe £40,000 in 5 years. I should have saved up £40,000. So that will be your long-term goal. Then you need to now break it down into short-term goals, mid-term goals. Okay, so your short-term goals would be under a year, 12 months, and then your mid-term goals. So so you have your short-term goals, you have your mid-term goals, and then you have your long-term goals, which would be 5 years and above. That's how you break them down, and then you work towards that. So if in your short-term goals is that by the end of maybe 6 months, you needed to have saved up maybe £5,000. So you know that in 6 months' time, you need to have saved up. Okay, let's make it nice and simple. Let's say £6,000. You need to have saved up £6,000 in 6 months' time. So each month, you now need to now plan what you need to do in each month to raise that money. So roughly it should be about £1,000. So where will you get an extra £1,000 that you can save up to meet your short-term goals, which is to get £6,000? Okay, so This is where now you start thinking, okay, how much should I be earning daily, weekly, monthly kind of thing? How many jobs do I need to earn? What do I need to sell? What do I need to do to get £1,000 in that month? Okay. And that's how you do a financial, you set your financial goals. Now the thing is, with setting goals, like I mentioned last time, the previous day, was that you need an accountability partner. So this is where your accountability partner will be key and ideal for you, because you can talk this through with your accountability partner if you have one. If you're doing this with your spouse, you and your spouse sit down together and discuss your goals, discuss what you want to achieve, because it's better to do things with other people than to do it alone. Doing stuff alone can be quite overwhelming, and then you get discouraged and you get really down. There's even been people that people, you read about people having real severe mental health issues regarding this. Because once you now decide to now get out of debt, a whole lot of things starts to happen. You might start to be in the place where, oh, I can't really go and have fun with my friends, and that discourages you. You start thinking, oh, I wonder what my friends are thinking of me. Then it starts playing on your mind. So you find many people start getting anxious, start suffering from anxiety, start suffering from depression. So having somebody there to see you through this stage, what you've decided to do, it's really beneficial. So if you've got a spouse that agrees with your plan to get out of debt or to remain financially free, you should sit down together and discuss your goals. If you do not have a spouse or a partner, get an accountability partner and walk this through. So set your goals, because once now you know your why and now you've set your goals, you now have like a roadmap to help you through. You can see where you want. And then the thing is, once you've set your goals and you're working towards it, there will be days, there will be months where you don't reach your goal. That is okay. All you just need to do is you adjust, but you know that your long-term goal is to get out of debt. You have your goals in place to keep you on track. Without there's a saying that where energy goes, where I've forgotten how to say it now. Where you focus on, all your energy goes to that bit. So it's almost like sunlight. When you're focusing a light source on a particular point, what happens? It catches fire. This is the exact same thing. Once you focus intensely on what you want to achieve, it builds up momentum, it catches fire, and you just annihilate the debt. It happens with everything in life. If you have a focused intention, focused intensity, if you have a goal in mind, if you set yourself a goal and you put all your energy within that goal, everything starts to work out. It does. But you need somebody that will help you to achieve that goal. You don't want to do this by yourself, because there will be tough days, a lot of tough days, because you will see your friends make fun of you because now you're living a different lifestyle. You're no longer wanting to be normal. Normal is not fashionable. Absolutely not. I rather be different. Now you're different. Now you're weird. And it's a good thing. All your friends that are making fun of you, they are broke. They are broke. You now have a goal. You have a goal to get out of debt, to remain debt free, to remain financially free, to be able to do whatever you want to do, go on trips that you want to go on, lead the life you want to, eat whatever you want to eat. Yes. So your homework for today is set yourself some goals. At least today, start with 3. Set yourself 3 goals. Write your goals down. There's no point thinking it in your head. Absolutely not. Write them down. You've got a diary by now. My diary is not close by. You've got a diary. If you don't have a diary, just get a notepad. I started with a notepad and just wrote down an exercise book and just wrote down my goals. And then you break that down. So what I'll recommend is, once you've set out what your goal is, so you can make 3 goals, and then each of them, you split them into actionable bite size. So short-term goals, you should have your mid-term goals, your long-term goals. Then you break them down into actionable bites. So you end up creating like a to-do list of what you need to do monthly, then what you need to do weekly, and what you need to do daily. 3, 3, 3. Short-term goal, mid-term goal, long-term goals. 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, like that. And then you now walk through them. So that's your homework for today. And so once you've got that all set up, so 3 goals, so short-term goals, mid-term goals, long-term goals, and then you start to break them into actionable chunks. Okay, so I've blabbed quite a bit, but I hope that has explained. Let's see, did I need to say anything else? Okay, so I think I've talked about, so write down one personal financial goal. So the main one, and then you can break them down into short-term, mid-term, long-term goals. You could do that like that. One specific financial goal. You can do this. You can do this. And that's your homework. So today we've covered setting a goal. Set your financial goal and break them down into little chunks, short-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals, and actionable bits. Leave a comment below. If you've done it, say goals done. And next time we'll carry on with our financial freedom series, where we are working towards leading a financially debt-free life. So until next time, I look forward to sharing more of my knowledge with you next time. And if you've got any question, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below and I will answer them. You can also PM me, and I will do my best to answer your questions as soon as I possibly can. Invite your friends to join us in our financial freedom series, and I will see you next time.